So for this week's video, I'd like to talk about two death experiences that I've had that have really been impactful on my life. My first was my grandfather, who died about 10 years ago. So I was about 12, 13, and I remember laying in the guest bedroom at my grandparents' house, and he was in hospice, and we had flown from Florida to Mississippi to see him, and we got there late around midnight, and we went straight to the hospice, and we saw him, we told him we loved him, and then my parents took my sister and I back to the house, and within an hour we had gotten a phone call that he had passed away. And I just remember laying in bed with my sister, and she was sleeping at the time, my younger sister, and I heard my mom out in the hallway talking to, I guess, the nurse on the phone, that he had passed away. So that was just something that really impacted me and has stuck with me the whole time. And I really haven't even shared that with my parents, that I knew at the time that he had passed away that he did, because I was still awake waiting to kind of hear. And then the next one is, it's coming up on 2 years ago. It was my ex-boyfriend's stepfather. He was really close with him. He treated him like his son, and I actually got really close with him after being with someone for 3 or 4 years. You get close with their family as well, and it was really hard seeing him, because he just slowly deteriorated. He had end-stage renal disease, so he was going through the dialysis like 3 or 4 times a week, and it was over Easter weekend that he had passed away. He passed away on Good Friday, and I just remember him being there in the room with us. He was at his house. He had asked to be brought back to his house from the center that he was staying at, because he wanted to pass away peacefully at home around his family. And I remember we were all sitting there eating dinner, and all of a sudden the nurse jumped up and noticed he wasn't breathing anymore. So we all kind of stopped eating dinner, and just for the next, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours, it was so hard, because we were waiting for the police to get there, the people from the funeral home to come and take his body. And once they took his body out of the house, like, the whole family just broke down and hit the floor and just started crying. So it's amazing to see how strong people can be, you know, during the time of death. But as soon as reality hits and that person is buried, that's when people tend to lose it. And I know for the next year after that, my boyfriend at the time had a very hard time going through that. And it's also hard, it's not only that it affects their family, it affected me as well, because it's kind of like one of those things, what do you say to a person going through something like that, when for myself I hadn't experienced it in over 10 years, so, and I was young at the time, so it's hard to remember. And one of the things that his family did different than my family, because they're Hispanic, they feel like the younger kids shouldn't be around during the time of death. They want everything to be a happy memory, so they had the younger kids away in the room watching TV. But for like me, I was right there firsthand with my grandfather's death. So, you know, and it was kind of hard, because I was thinking, you know, don't the kids want to see their grandfather? And so just a difference of perspective, really, when it comes to death, with different cultures and different families, and how they portray death. So very interesting discussion this week. I look forward to your response, Dr. Shaw, and I will talk to you later.